Hello YouTube, my name is Blake with CA Tech Experts, and today I'm going to show you how to make a simple login system using Visual Studio 2013. To start off, go ahead and create a new project. From your start page, select New Project. Then select Windows Desktop category and Windows Forms application. In the name section, you can name your application to whatever you would like. For this tutorial, we're going to name it Simple Login System. Once you've named your application, press OK. You're brought to the design window of your default form, which is named Form 1. You can go ahead and change the name of your form by locating the Properties window, and under Text, you can change the title of the form to whatever you like. So for this one, we're just going to put Login. Now as you see, it changes the title of the form, but it doesn't actually change the code file itself. To change that, click on the file. In the miscellaneous file name, you can select or choose a name, whatever you want. Just make sure it doesn't include spaces, and it must be followed by a .vb, which is a file extension. So we're going to name it login.vb. Once you're done, go ahead and hit enter. It's going to ask if you would like to rename the project of all references. For example, if you have controls already on the form, it will change those names that reference the form to the new name of it. I usually just click yes. If you have a reason to click no, then click no. But for this tutorial, we're going to click yes. Once you've done that, you're pretty much set to start dragging things onto your form. To do that, go ahead and go to your toolbox, which is going to be located on the left side of the window. And then I like to minimize the All Windows Forms category because it's a little too much. And under Common Controls, you'll find a label. You're going to want to drag that onto your form, and you're going to want to go back and get a text box and drag that onto your form. For your label, we're going to click on the label, and then under your Properties window, you're going to change the text of that to username. You can also change the font and color of the label by going to the font. I like Arial. And you can change the size. And you can change the color. I like to go with an orange. Now you can also change the background color of the form by clicking on the form itself and go to back color and select white or any color you wish. The only thing you cannot do is transparent. It will give you an error. So once we're done with that, we're going to basically go ahead and drag over both of those controls and hit the Control key along with the C key at the same time, and that's going to copy. And then you're going to want to select the form and click Control and V, and that's going to duplicate it. Another way to do that would be to drag over it, right click, copy, and then right click, paste. But we're using keyboard shortcuts for this. Saves a lot of time. So once you've done that, you're left with your two boxes, and we're going to need to change the label to password. Okay, so you have your username and password boxes here. You can put these, whatever project you're using, you can go ahead and locate them wherever you want. But this is just going to be really simple and basic. I must also mention that this is not a very secure way at all to protect content or anything you're delivering to your members or customers. This is a very insecure way. There's going to be another tutorial on a more advanced login system that is going to use databases and MD5 encryption of passwords and such, and you'll have a lot more control. But this is a good beginner's project. At least this is how I started coding in VB is with this. So once you've done that, you're going to want to go back to your toolbox and get a button. Because once they're done entering their login details, they're going to need to hit something to go ahead and log in. So you can resize that. And to change the name or the label of the button, click on the button, go to your properties, and again, text, you can change it to login or whatever you want it to be. These properties are going to be pretty much the same across the board for any control, so you're going to get real familiar with these. Once you're done, hit enter, and you're left with your login window. It's not very pretty, but like I said, it's something very simple to get started with. I always like to click on the form and go down to miscellaneous, or not miscellaneous, but layout. And at the very bottom of layout, the start position, I always put center screen. Because if we go ahead and debug the project right now, you're going to see how it'll pop up in the center. I always do that. You can do whatever you want, but for right now we're going to do that. Now, let's actually start coding. So like I said, this is a very insecure way. I do not recommend this at all for any important things for your business or members or such. This is just for informational purposes and to kind of to get used to coding in VB. But to start off, let's go ahead and double click on the button control, and you can see here it's going to run this code when button 1 is clicked. So we're going to want to reference to this text box, which is text box 1, and this text box, which is text box 2. Now, if you're more advanced and you want to keep things organized, which I recommend, you can click on the text box and go to the bottom under design, and the name, I just like to change it to whatever it is. So like this is username, and then this is password. And that way you know what you're referencing to. And you can even change the button. So, and remember, you cannot include spaces, so you can either do an underscore or you can have no space at all. But I usually just do an underscore. It's a lot easier to read. So again, click on this, but you see how it didn't update the button 1? So just go ahead and delete this. Go back to your design and double click on it again. Or if you're you don't want to do that, then you can just type it in manually, but I just find it much easier. Once you've done that, we're ready to start. So we're going to start with a basic if statement. If username, which is the username text box, and dot the property, which is going to be text. Remember how I showed you in the properties window, you can change the text. So if the text equals, let's just say username 123. So if someone enters username 123 in the username text box, it's going to be followed. It's going to do the functions that we're going to tell it to do. But we also have a password. So we're going to want to do and password dot text equals, we'll do password 123. Then it's giving us an error because we didn't do an end if. Okay, so that's how we close that out. So if username.text equals this and password.text equals this, then it's going to do what we want it to do. So we'll go ahead and you can have, let's just say, form2.show, or just for this tutorial we're going to do a message box. So to do a message box, MSG box, and we'll do welcome. And this is going to be a little bit more advanced. You probably won't see people do this in other simple login tutorials because there's a lot of them out there. But I like to have a personal touch on it. So we'll do welcome, and then after the quotations, we're going to put the and symbol, and then we're going to have it display the username. So to do that, we're going to reference whatever's displayed in the username.text. So we'll do username.text. So it's going to display the text welcome, and then it's going to display whatever is in the username.text box. So it's so you don't have to guess the user. So instead of, you know, saying welcome Sally or welcome Joe, it will automatically display who it is. Now, what if someone gets these credentials wrong? We want it to do something, right? We don't want it to be able to log in. So we're going to have else here. So if it equals this, it's going to do this. If it doesn't, it's going to do what we're going to put here, which is going to be another message box. So again, we'll do username.text, which it's going to display whatever is in the username text box, and we're going to include an and symbol and the commas or parentheses. We're going to put is not a valid username. So it's going to say, okay, whatever was entered is not a valid username. And if you want it to have a little, like, you know, right now it's just going to pop up silent like this. Like, oh, not a valid username. But what if, you know, if you want to make a little sound, just put beep. And when you do that, it will make a little beep sound. So, that's how you do that. So, let's try to, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and try to log in with the correct info. So, our username must equal this. And our password must equal this. And there we go. Welcome username 123. Let's just try to mess it up. You know, it just shows you what I entered there is not a valid username. Now, you're probably thinking, why is the password displayed in plain text? Well, you can change that by going to your login.vb design tab, clicking on the form, or I'm sorry, clicking on the text box for the password. Go down to the behavior section of the properties window and use system password char. You want to make that true. And once that's true, go ahead and debug it again, and you can see how the password's hidden. There's a whole bunch of other things you can do. Feel free to explore. There's a max length. I usually do 16 and 15 for the username. There's a lot of things you can do. You can even put your own custom password char. So if we go back to here, let's go ahead and make that to false, because we don't want to use a system default password char. We're going to make up our own. So let's just say we want to do a star. We enter a star, we go to debug, and you can see how it's a star. Or if you want to make it an and symbol, you go to debug, it's an and symbol, whatever you type in. And that beeping is our max length, saying too many characters in there. But feel free to play around with that. There's a lot of things you can do. You can be so creative, and again, I must stress, this is not in any way secure, because this code is stored in a VB file, which is included with your application, and anybody can go ahead and open that up that knows how to hack things and view the credentials here and get into your app. That's pretty much it for this login tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, you can go ahead and send me an email at ask@catechexperts.com. That will also be included in the description of this video. Or you can go ahead and simply leave a comment. Do subscribe because, like I said, I am going to be creating more tutorials with Visual Studio, and a more advanced login system is going to be included in that, where you can keep things pretty secure. But if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. That will help a lot. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.